I'd like to call to order the Madison County Board of Education. This is considered a special meeting because we moved the time back so that we could participate in Madison Southern's homecoming this evening. First on our agenda is the reading of our vision statement. Mr. Rutherford.
Madison County Schools, in partnership with the community, strives to equip educators and students with the skills to lead by example, develop and speak with a unique voice, and explore their academic curiosity to make a positive impact on our community and world.
Thank you so much. If there's anyone here that wants to speak to any of the items on the agenda, we ask that you fill out the back and let Ms. Wilson, was there anybody? Okay, then we're just going to go ahead and move right on. Next is item 4, and that's our consent agenda. These are items that the board gets the week before, and we have the opportunity to review and ask questions. So we're very familiar with all these things. Included on that consent agenda today are the minutes of the August 24th, 2023 meeting, our claims, the record of superintendent's personnel actions, the leave of absence, technology surplus, the following out-of-state field trips: the B. Michael Caudill Middle School 7th grade trip to Chicago, Illinois on November the 4th through the 5th of 2023, the Madison Central High School FFA trip to Indianapolis, Indiana on November 1st through the 3rd, 2023, the Madison Central baseball team trip to Crestview, Florida on March the 30th through April the 5th of 2024, the Ignite Academy North FBLA trip to Dallas, Texas on November 16th through the 18th of 2023, the Madison Southern High School dance team trip to Orlando, Florida on February 1st through 6th, 2024 is presented. Also included is the contract to furnish transportation for own child for qualified special needs, 3 shortened school day applications, the 2023-2024 Certified Evaluation Appeals Panel, and declare surplus and authorize auction. Are there any questions? If not, if I can get a motion then to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Cobb. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Rutherford. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have our monthly reports, and first is item 5 is our instruction report by Mr. James Ray, our Chief Academic Officer.
Perfect
Good
time.
afternoon.
Hello. Just give a quick update as we start the school year. It's been a great start to the school year. One of the things that we've gotten in, and it's not been released, but our data for last school year, we're very pleased with the progress that we're seeing in that. Once that becomes available for that to be shared publicly, we'll bring that back and we'll present that to you. But they have done a great job. We knew there was a lot of hard work going on, and that's just a testament to the hard work of our teachers, the staff, the students, the support of you all, and everything that we have going in the district. So we appreciate the administration and everybody, and we look forward to being able to show that success as that comes out in the next little bit. I've gone out and visited schools in the last little bit, and we've kind of talked about that data and how we're using that actionably with things they can do within RTI, things they can do to sort kids to help make decisions with classes they're teaching, things that can help promote more success. So it's been a great start to the school year. Enjoy those conversations and look forward to coming back and sharing more with you all a little bit later.
Perfect.
Any questions?
We look forward to seeing that data.
Okay.
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you so
all.
much.
Thank you.
Next is our construction report, and first we have Jonathan Smith with Branscombe Construction. We're going to talk about our new Madison Middle.
Want to give you all just a quick update. Got some photos, the work been going on. If you've been out by the site, you see there's been quite a bit of work going on the last little bit. This is just an overall shot a few days ago. I think today there were over 50 guys on site today, so a lot of work, a lot of guys on site, a lot of activity. That was there at the job site trailer looking out what would be the front of the building. That's in that front parking lot. This is just the side going down to the back of the fields down there. You can see the geothermal wells down there. I'll show you a little bit closer in a little bit. The rigs, they're drilling. All the geothermal wells should be hopefully done by about Tuesday of next week. All 107 of them will be drilled. So those been going on the last couple of weeks, getting those in, getting them completed. This is just that overall shot. You see there's been 5 rigs on site drilling down there on the adjacent to the building where there are 3 different locations where the geothermal well field goes. This is a shot of the classroom. This is Area E and Area D. There is probably approximately about 75% of the footings for the entire building that is in and complete. About 80% of the foundation walls are in and complete. We're taking advantage of the good weather, been working some long days, getting a lot of those in, getting those completed. This is a picture of the main sewer trunk line. Probably about 75% of it is complete. It's all been in solid rock. Of course, everybody knows we've been blasting out there, so everything putting in solid rock. But they're doing pretty well with it. They should be out of the building by next week with the main sewer line, get it out of the footprint of the building, and everything will be under the pad of the building, be in and be completed. So that's going in and staying on track. This is the back of what is the locker room behind the gym there. You can see foundation block. This was, I can't keep the pictures up to date with the work going on. This was just last week, but this has all changed the last little bit. So that's the first row of foundation blocks going in there at the locker room behind the gymnasium. This is a shot of all the rigs down where the well fields are going in. Like I said, by Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, should be complete with all the geothermal wells. They'll all be in and be drilled. Then they'll be back in 2 to 3 weeks and start making their tie-ins where they come inside the building. This is standing up, looking down at the geothermal where they're drilling the well fields and part of that parking lot on the side. I just stepped back to see, you can see how big the site is. I think it's a D8 dozer down there, and it looks pretty small compared to the size of the site. This is a shot of that overall of the gym and the classroom area. That's that side parking lot beside the building. That rock is in, and it's pretty well to grade. This is a shot of the rear athletic fields. All this shot rock they've been blasting, they've been hauling it to the back, building up the back of the athletic fields, and they're continuing to fill those, but a lot of that's been accomplished in the last couple of weeks. They've been hauling a lot of rock to the back of the site, getting that field complete. And this is just an overall shot of the entire site standing on the adjacent property there. You can see all the work going on, a lot of contractors on site, and everything's going well. We just hope the weather continues and everything keep progressing as is. Any questions on progress?
I love to see the progress.
It's really exciting to drive by.
Yeah.
And see it. I see so many people out there working.
Yes.
Every time I'm by there. So,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We also have Travis Curry here with Trace Creek to talk about our Phillips Building renovation project.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Phillips Building, Phase 2, we have started with the demolition, hoping to be finished with the demolition by the end of next week. I don't have any nice pictures to show you. Ours is all ugly, but Tony has a few photos he will show you in his report. But if you've been by there, it's an ugly mess, but in the next week, we should have that pretty much wrapped up. Give you a quick update on the CTC building that's out to bid. We have a pre-bid meeting scheduled for Monday, and we are taking bids Wednesday the 27th, so hopefully those bids will come in favorable, and we'll be able to come out, come to the next board meeting with a letter of recommendation to move forward. Secondly, the Phillips Building Phase 2/soccer field. It will go to the printer on Monday, and we have a pre-bid meeting scheduled for Thursday, October the 5th, and a bid date scheduled for Thursday, October the 19th. So things are progressing and moving forward. We're just waiting for bids to come in and give you our letter of recommendation and hopefully move forward. Any questions?
Love seeing the progress.
All right.
It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Last but not least in our construction report is Tony Thomas. How are you, Tony?
Good. How are you all tonight? Good. Good to see you. As Jonathan and Travis both mentioned, with the good weather, there's been a lot of progress on everything going on right now in construction. I'll probably have a few duplicated pictures, but here's the Phillips building. I look from the back of the site, looking towards the building, of course. Now, that's been removed even since last month, but as you get closer, you can see that they're well, you all approved, the change order to do additional demolition work, which is what they're doing is they're taking off that roof and the big vent on top, and all the walls are gone now. That was part of that as well, so a lot of progress. And this is going to help your Phase 2 bid get further along. Otherwise, this stuff would have occurred in Phase 2. But a totally different look for all of you who've known the building for so long.
It looks so much better even in this state. I was just by there a couple days
Yeah.
ago, and I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
Well, I thought the same thing when I'm going to back, you just look at that, it looks, the clean slab there looks better than it
I don't think I've seen a
was.
nastier roof on a building.
Oh,
than that
it's,
right
well,
there.
that's,
That is
yeah, it's been a mess, and that's why it needs to go.
We need a really good wind to just blow all that.
We'll ask for a credit if a wind comes and take it away. Yeah. Just hope it lands in the dumpster.
Yeah.
So this area, of course, is where is an area that the structure will remain, and I'm standing about where your front door, the new office will be. And this is over on the alleyway side, again, just kind of exposing some of that structure. You know, this was, I think, put up in 48 or something, and it's amazing how some of the steel is really, you know, it looks a little dirty and brown, but it's actually in very good shape. And one of the reasons that it was a good idea to go ahead and try to save as much as you can. But I've been impressed with what was done now. So what, 70, it's hard to do the math, it's so old, 70-something years ago. But you can see right through the building now to Georgia Street. And like Travis said, progress is good. That's it on the Phillips building. Any questions on that? And have some similar pictures to Jonathan. I just showed this. This is the boulevard that's right next to the property. So this will be the entry, and there'll probably be a lot of entry to the school coming that way because there's another new entry off of this boulevard. You look a little bit to the right. That's the school will be sitting about at the top of the hill, so you can start to imagine what it would look like in that picture. You get a little closer. This is the gym area, the block going up. Good work so far. We've got a good mason, and the joinery looks good. And Chris, the site foreman, does a good job staying on top of the guys. This is inside the gym. On the left is the lobby, and in front of you is the locker rooms. This is area C. This is looking back towards the athletic fields. You can see a tremendous number of rebar here. That's your storm shelter. So that would be the classroom wing. That is the storm shelter. And again, a lot of footings have taken place out. This good weather and good sunny weather. Of course, it's bad on the grass and fields because it's been so dry lately, but it's helped them progress well. And as Jonathan mentioned, here's just a close-up of the geothermal well. And I'm surprised to see 5 rigs on site. We're lucky to get 1 on a site. It's been a tremendous effort to get geothermal well drillers on site. I'm glad to hear that they might be done next week. It's hard. Sometimes it takes months and months, and you got one guy with 1 drill out there. But anyway, progress is good, and just another picture of the site. That's about what standing on the boulevard looking towards the athletic fields. And this is back where they're putting the final layer of good, clean fill on top of the softball field, looking back towards the west there. So good progress everywhere. Excited to see how quickly this project is going. So that's it on the middle school, unless there's any questions. As Travis mentioned, out to bid right now is the former Kentucky Tech Center renovation Phase 2. Pre-bid's the 18th, as he mentioned. Bids is September the 27th. And going out to bid soon, which would be Monday, is the Phillips Building renovations Phase 2 with a pre-bid. I'm assuming that's not out to bid yet. Right now, I've got October 5th and October 19th as the pre-bid and the bid date. So that covers the projects in design and construction.
Anybody have any questions? Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you. Next, we have Mark Woods, our CFO, to present the annual finance report and our monthly financial reports.
Good evening,
All right,
afternoon,
sometimes.
sometime.
We're all here, it's good.
That's right. All right. We'll get started here with the bank rec. As of August 31st, the district ended with a reconciled balance of $125,933,172.05. We have our bond money. That's the big difference between it. This time last year, we have the bond money, and we have FSPK money for building and construction uses. We have other projects coming up that we'll need to apply those monies to. So we have last year's money of that plus our bond money. So that makes up the difference as compared to last year. The reconciled balance, the district has $65,241,103.45 in investments. Those rates range from 2% to 5%. You will see some changes in this next month when we get there. I've been negotiating our lowest CD rates because that CD is coming due. So you'll see us jump to where everything's around the 4.5 range and above. So we're doing good there, keeping ahead of the curve on all of our investments. In addition, you had the balance sheet and the revenue and expense report for the month. It looks a little skewed if you compare it to the budget, but that's because as you start a school year, you're heavy on expenditures. You have to buy a lot of supplies and things to get ready for the school year, so that's typical. Everything else is in line.
Awesome. Any questions? So is that the actual, I guess we need a motion then to approve the monthly financial report as presented.
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Rutherford. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Next is item 6B, to approve change orders for the Madison Middle School project. Each of these are a credit amount, and so I'll just read through each one of them if we have any questions. The first one is Ferguson Enterprises for a credit of $18,380. Rising Sun Developing Company, $500. Atlas Enterprises, $5,964. Blue Sky Electric Company, $276.24. And New Tech Systems, $6,332.16 for a total credit of $31,452.40. Any questions? We'll take the credits any
Take the
day.
credits
All
all day
day.
long.
Yeah. So if not, can I get a motion to approve the change orders for the Madison Middle School project for a credit in the amount of $31,542 and 40 cents? Those two numbers don't mix.
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Cobb. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Rutherford. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is item 6C, to approve a change order number 01-02 for Phillips Building renovation Phase 1. Does anybody have any question? It is a credit as well. If not, if I can get a motion then to approve change order number 01-02 for Phillips Building renovation Phase 1 for a credit of $20,000.
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Coyle. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Rutherford. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is item 6D, to award the bid for the renovation of former Kentucky Tech Phase 1. Does anybody have any questions about that? If not, if I can get a motion then to award the bid for the renovation at the former Kentucky Tech Center Phase 1 to Central Kentucky Sheet Metal Incorporated in the amount of $1,698,000.
So moved.
I'll second.
So moved by Mr. Rutherford, second by Ms. Cobb. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is item 6E, to approve the BG4 for the Madison Kindergarten Academy cooling tower. Does anybody have any questions about that? If not, if I could get a motion then to approve the BG4 for the Madison Kindergarten Academy cooling tower as presented. So moved by Ms. Coyle. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Rutherford. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We are zipping through this. Next is item 6F. This is to approve a PO for the Allen Company. This is for asphalt paving. Anybody have any questions? If not, if I can get a motion to approve the Allen Company purchase order or asphalt paving of a parking lot at Madison Central High School in the amount of $95,400.
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Rutherford. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Cobb. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is item 6G. This is about our Microsoft agreement. Does anybody have any questions?
Gotta have it.
You gotta have it. We do it every year. If not, if I can get a motion then to approve the Microsoft agreement as presented.
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Coyle. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Cobb. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is to approve the purchase of cameras. Do you want to talk about this for a
Be
second?
glad to. This is to add some cameras to some of our elementary schools, and it's also to replace, the two major purchases are to add some cameras at some of our elementary schools, and then also to replace a significant portion of our cameras at Madison Central. The cameras at Madison Central are several years old, and they're dated, and honestly, several of the ones that we'd be replacing currently are not working and functioning with our system. So we've been able to rework some ESSER funds and requested some stuff through the state, so we will be permitted to use our ESSER funds to purchase these. So we're recommending that we make this purchase for new cameras. Any questions?
I think it's a great idea to take advantage of these before they sunset.
Absolutely. If no other questions, if I can get a motion then to approve the purchase of exterior cameras from Schiller in the amount of $104,435 and interior cameras in the amount of $66,195.
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Rutherford. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is to approve the amendments to the classified salary schedule. You want to
I'll
touch on
mention-
that one?
Yeah, it's really just two amendments. There are two. The first, and it, honestly, as much as anything, it was probably an oversight, as we went through the salary schedule, the one for family service workers, it stopped at 5 years. So it didn't give any step increases beyond 5 years. And most of the time, we don't have folks that stay in those positions very long, and we hadn't really thought about it. But as we went back and reviewed, we need to add some steps in there, and that will immediately impact some of our folks right now. So so that's the first adjustment. And then the other amendment there is to add a $2 per hour increase to our paraeducators that are working in our MSD classrooms with their MSD students. Those are very tough positions. Yeah, all of our positions are tough, but those face some very demanding situations, and we want to try to provide some incentive.
Any questions?
I think it's a great idea.
Yep.
It's well deserved.
If not, if I can get a motion then to approve the amendments to the classified salary schedule as presented.
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Cobb. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is item 6J, to create or ratify a full-time LBD special education teacher, and this will be at Madison Central. Anybody have any questions? If not, if I can get a motion then to create and ratify a full-time LBD special education teacher at Madison Central High School.
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Rutherford. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Cobb. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is item 6K, to create and ratify a general maintenance worker position. We got more buildings, we need more workers.
Is this
to
kind of
keep
like a
them up.
floating position, or will they be?
Yeah, it's our district maintenance staff.
Right.
So, we've added, some square footage across the district and 2 new buildings and continuing to do more. So, figured it was a good time right now to go ahead and expand that, because those guys they do a lot. And especially when you start renovating that Phillips building, they're going to have to, what it's like when you do construction in your own home. There's a lot of work that you have to do, even though the construction folks are there. So there'll be a lot of stuff for our maintenance folks to do in that building, plus going out and having to maintain all of our other school buildings. So it's really something we need to go ahead and move on.
Anybody have any questions? If not, if I can get a motion then to create and ratify a general maintenance worker position.
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Coyle. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Rutherford. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is item 6L. This is to create and ratify an assistant football coach position at Madison Southern High School, and the football boosters will be paying for this position. It is $4,800 plus fringe benefits, but the boosters are going to be taking care of that. Any questions? If not, if I can get a motion then to create and ratify one assistant football coach position at Madison Southern High School to be paid from the football boosters as presented.
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Rutherford. Do I have a second by Ms. Cobb?
Oh, second, yeah.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is item 6M, to approve one emergency teacher position. And this is at Madison Central for a family and consumer science teacher.
It's emergency certification,
Yeah.
yes.
Any questions? If not, if I can get a motion then to approve an emergency certification for a family consumer science teacher at Madison Central High School.
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Cobb. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is item 6N, to establish a PTA booster organization at Kingston Elementary. Any questions? If not, if I can get a motion then to establish a PTA booster organization at Kingston Elementary School.
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Rutherford. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Coyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is item 6O, to establish a PTA booster organization at Madison Southern High School. Any questions? If not, if I can get a motion then to establish a parent-teacher association booster organization at Madison Southern High School.
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Cobb. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Rutherford. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is item 6P, to approve a Head Start memorandum of agreement. This is what we typically do every single year.
Head Start's a federal program, preschool's a state program. We have to have a memorandum of understanding between the two, so those funds and expenditures don't overlap.
Any questions? If not, if I can get a motion then to approve the 2023-2024 local Head Start memorandum of agreement and service contract for cooperation and full utilization of Head Start.
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Coyle. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Rutherford. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is our superintendent's report.
All right, well, thank you. As Mr. Ray mentioned earlier, school has gotten off to a great start. We appreciate all of the work that all of our folks are doing. I also enjoyed the board going out on that opening day and visiting all of our schools. We had a really good time that day. We appreciate all of our folks out there. As for me, I'm currently making some rounds across the district. I was in a few schools this morning. We also, we have a lot of construction going on, so there's a lot of meetings on some things with our construction pieces, and that's keeping us all hopping. But other things, working with our co-op groups. We're a member of 3 different co-ops across the state, Southeast, South Central, Central Kentucky, and also the Kentucky Education Development Co-op. And all of those are currently involved in some work to try to impact legislation and impact budget in a positive manner for public education. So we're working on some things with that. Couple of spotlights I do want to mention. On August 23rd, we had a kickoff for the Health Careers Explorers Group program, and that kickoff was held at EKU. You may have seen that. The 2 things I'm going to mention are both things that we had Lexington news stations down here covering. That was one. That was a very nice event. This is a program. EKU is really working with us, in particular their nursing program, to try to get local students into the nursing program and into health careers. And I applaud their efforts, and Baptist Health Richmond is doing a great job to try to support that as well. So this is a partnership between the 3 of us, and I really appreciate the work of Baptist Health Richmond and EKU in that. It was a great day for, I think, 11 of our students. May have that number wrong, but I think we had 11 students out there that are going to be having some tremendous opportunities to get behind the scenes and get in there and work in health careers early. The other one, we had, the new stations were down yesterday, I suppose it was, at Ignite South. Our culinary program down there is working with they're preparing all of the spoon bread for the Spoon Bread Festival. So that's just one piece. They had a huge operation. They had about 30 kids in there, and they were cranking out a lot of different pieces there. It truly was a busy commercial kitchen while we were down there, while they were filming. So it was very neat. So those are just a couple things I wanted to highlight. Other than that, that's my superintendent report.
Thank you very much. Comments from the board? I know it seems like it was a really quick meeting. We've had all of this information over the last week and asking questions. We kind of went through it quickly because we're wanting to go support Madison Southern at their homecoming parade this evening. So we did our work. It was just behind the scenes instead of up here at the table today.
And but we've got high school, this is the first time in several years we're not homecoming it for both schools at the same time. So we have Southern this weekend and Central next weekend. So hopefully we can get some people to be able to attend both.
Any other comments, questions? Okay, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Rutherford, second by Ms. Coyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We're adjourned. Thank you all.
Culinary.